Hello friends, welcome back to Huawei AS. Welcome to the discussion on daily MCQ. Today is 20 October 2021 and now we are going to discuss 5 MCQs based on the current affairs. तो चलिए शुरू करते हैं. But first let us discuss the question that was asked previously, and the question was the Congress ministries resigned in 7 provinces in 1939 because A. The Congress could not form ministries in other 4 provinces. B. The emergence of left wing in Congress made the working of ministries impossible. C. There were widespread communal disturbances in the provinces. And D. None of the statements are correct. The correct option is D. None of the above statements A, B, C are correct. Because if you see, in 1939, the Congress has resigned in the 7 provinces where it formed government after winning elections in 1936-37. But what happened in 1939 is Viceroy Lord Linlithgow has declared India at war with Germany on 3rd of September 1939. 1939. So when Lord Linlithgow has declared war, the Congress protested against it because he declared war without consulting Indians. India was at war without Indians knowing about it. So that is the reason Congress has resigned. Okay. Now let's move on. Guys, as you know, daily we upload 5 current affair based MCQs, and the PDF of this MCQ can be downloaded by end of day from our Telegram channel. Okay, the Telegram channel details are there in the description. You can just go and have a look. Now let's move on. Let's look at the first question. India's first e-waste clinic for segregating, processing and disposal of waste from household and commercial units has been set up in A. Pune, B. Bhopal, C. Hyderabad and D. Surat. You have to choose the correct option, and the correct option is B. Bhopal. So International E-Waste Day is observed on 14th of October, and it has been observed from 2018. E-waste is the short form for electronic waste, and the term is used to describe old, end of life or discarded electronic appliances. It includes their components, consumables, parts and spares. It is categorized into 21 types under 2 broad categories: information technology and communication equipment, consumer electrical and electronics. The laws to manage e-waste have been in place in India since 2011, mandating that only authorized dismantlers and recyclers can collect the e-waste. The e-waste management rules of 2016 also were enacted. Okay, so this first e-waste clinic was set up in Bhopal, Madhya Pradesh. So there is a convention called Basel Convention which talks about transboundary movement of waste. Initially, when the Basel Convention was signed in 1992, it did not mention e-waste, but later on e-waste was added. Okay, now let's move on. Let's look at the second question. He is well known for his pioneering role in transforming educational opportunities for Muslims. He denounced purdah, polygamy and was against religious intolerance, ignorance and irrationalism. He started the Aligarh movement. He wrote a profound booklet, Asab-e-Bhagwati Hind. So identify the personality. I think most of you might have got the answer just with this statement, Aligarh movement. So let's see the options. A. Ashrafullah Khan, B. Maulana Abul Kalam Azad, C. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan and D. Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan. And the correct option is C. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. So recently a book on Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, namely Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, Reason, Religion and Nation, has been released by eminent scholar and critic Shafi Kidwai. Also 17th October 2021 marks his 204th birth anniversary. He worked as a civil servant, journalist, educationalist, social reformer and historian among others. He served the British administration before the revolt of 1857. The 1857 revolt was one of the turning point in Syed Ahmad Khan's, and he penned a pamphlet titled The Causes of the Indian Revolt to explain the reasons of revolt from a native perspective. He is regarded as one of the founders of the two-nation theory, which says that Hindus and Muslims cannot be one nation. Sir Syed was knighted by the British in 1888. The biography of Sir Syed, Hayat-e-Javed, was published 3 years after his death. Okay, and here I have given some more extra information. You can just go through them. You can pause the video and go through them as well. Now let's look at the third question. Which of the following led to the introduction of English education in India? It's a CSE 2018 question. First one, Charter Act of 1813. Second one, General Committee on Public Instruction 1823. Third one, Orientalist and Anglicist controversy. So you have to choose the correct option, and the correct option is D, 1, 2 and 3. So the introduction of English education in India took place with the start of this Charter Act of 1813, you can say. The Charter Act of 1813, which actually ended the monopoly of East India Company, has granted about 1 lakh rupees for the promotion of education. But there was a controversy back then in 1813, and the controversy was between the Anglicist and the Classicist on the medium of instruction, and so the fund was kept unspent till 1823. In 1823, the Governor General appointed a General Committee on Public Instruction which had the responsibility to grant 1 lakh rupees for education, and that committee was headed by Lord Macaulay, consisting of 10 European members. And the committee decided to spend major portion from the grant for the improvement of Oriental literature. Even the General Committee on Public Instruction also was not able to decide the medium of instruction by vote, because out of 10 members, 5 were in support of English language and 5 were in support of the classic language or native language. So as the President of General Committee on Public Instruction, Lord Macaulay wrote a minute on 2nd of February 1835 where he made the conclusion regarding this controversy, and English as a medium was started in fact. Okay, now let's look at the fourth question. With reference to Congress Socialist Party, consider the following statements. First one, it advocated the boycott of British goods and evasion of taxes. Second one, it wanted to establish the dictatorship of proletariat. Third one, it advocated separate electorate for minorities and oppressed classes. So you have to choose the correct option. A 1 and 2, B 3 only, C 1, 2 and 3, and D none of the above. And the correct option is D, none of the above. Because the Congress Socialist Party, if you see, it is a party within Congress only. It did not advocate for the boycott of British goods, nor it wanted to establish the dictatorship of proletariat, nor it advocated any separate electorate. So the Congress Socialist Party was a socialist group within the Indian National Congress. It's just a group within Congress. It was founded in 1934 by Jayaprakash Narayan and Acharya Narayan Dev. So if you see this book, Why Socialism? The Relevance of Socialism in India, it was written by Jayaprakash Narayan, and Ram Manohar Lohia published a journal called the Congress Socialist. If you see the ideology of this Congress Socialist Party, they believed in Marxist ideas, and along with that, they also believed in Gandhism, liberalism, and the socialist democracy of the West, and they owe their allegiance to Indian National Congress. So they are just a group within the Congress which had socialist ideas. They joined hands with the bourgeois or the middle class, along with bringing in the workers and the peasants to create a broad base for Congress, and they demanded the abolition of capitalism, Jamindari system, and the princely states. Okay, so this is about the Congress Socialist Party. Now let's look at the fifth question. Under which schedule of the Constitution of India can the transfer of tribal land to private parties for mining can be declared null or void? It's a CSE 2019 question. A, 3rd schedule, B, 5th schedule, C, 9th schedule, and D, 12th schedule. So if you see, there are 2 schedules that are very, very special. They are 5th schedule and the 6th schedule. The 5th schedule and 6th schedule offers autonomy to the districts, to the tribal districts. So the correct option is B, 5th schedule. The 5th schedule is for all the states, whereas the 6th schedule is only for Assam, Tripura, Meghalaya, and Mizoram. Okay. So the Indian Constitution, as I told already, provides autonomy to tribal areas in governance under 5th and 6th schedules. The 5th schedule entails the provisions relating to administration and control of scheduled areas and scheduled tribes. The 6th schedule entails the provisions relating to administration of tribal areas in Assam, Meghalaya, Tripura, and Mizoram, as I told already. According to Samata versus State of Andhra Pradesh and others in 1997, the Supreme Court declared that the transfer of tribal land to private parties for mining was null and void under the 5th schedule. Okay, and also after the enactment of this Forest Right Act of 2006, the forest dwellers, or the people who are staying in the forest and all, the tribals especially, they were given some more rights with regarding to the land and all. Okay. Now let's look at the question of the day. And the question of the day is, tides occur in ocean and seas due to which of the following? A, gravitational force of the sun. First one, the gravitational force of sun. Second one, gravitational force of moon. And third one, centrifugal force of the earth. You have to choose the correct option. A, 1 only, B, 2 and 3, C, 1 and 3, and D, 1, 2 and 3. Do give your answer in the comment box, and tomorrow we will discuss this question. So that's it guys from my side. I'll see you again tomorrow with 5 more MCQs. Till then, keep studying and stay tuned. Jai Hind.